personal emergency, Sudeep is not able to take this webinar, and we have very talented Gautam who will be talking on derivatives and technical queries. So Gautam is a experienced analyst, more than 5 year experience, and he has been one of the instrumental guy in driving the derivatives and technical call at SBI Securities. So all your queries pertaining to short term will be addressed by Gautam. So I think in terms of language, we will keep it mixed, whether it is Hindi and English. We will try to accommodate everyone's request. So before starting with the Q&A, what I will do, we will have a very brief introduction about what is the structure of the market from both fundamental as well as the technical perspective. So myself and Gautam, we won't take more than 5 to 10 minutes. And then followed by that, we can have a Q&A session. So we'll try to wrap up and the entire webinar by 5 p.m. Today evening. So coming to a very right question, which somebody has put in the chat box also, why Indian market is negative at the current juncture. So I think definitely a market has been under a continuous selling pressure since the beginning of October. And there are basically 2-3 reasons for that. One is obviously the aggressive selling by foreign institutional investors. So we have seen foreign institutional investors have uploaded shares worth more than 70,000 crore during the last 21 days of the October. And this is the highest number since the COVID March 20 period. So during the month of March 2020, when the COVID struck us and there was a lockdown announced in India, in that month, if you remember, there was a deep correction in the equity market. And at that point, FII has offloaded close to 65,000 crore worth of equity shares. And post that, now it is in the month of October 2024, where we are seeing an aggressive selling by foreign institutional investors. So again, it's the liquidity. So during the last 3-4 years, we were seeing that liquidity was driving the market on upside. Now today, as there is a selling pressure from foreign institutional investors, where they predominantly invest in top 250 or 300 companies which are linked to MSCI or some other key benchmark indices. Hence, we are seeing a deep correction in the many large cap names. And to add a fuel to this, basically आग में घी डालने का काम किया है quarter 2 earnings season. So what we have seen that across the board, across the various sectors, there is no positive surprise in terms of earnings growth, and hence we are seeing a correction in a very many large cap names. So today Kotak was down, Tata Consumer was down, Nestle has disappointed on the number front, Ultratech has disappointed. So across the sector, we are seeing a pressure in terms of earning growth. And we have to keep in mind that ultimately it is the only earnings growth which drives the market. अगर कहीं भी अर्निंग ग्रोथ नहीं आएगी, प्रॉफिट ग्रोथ नहीं दिखेगा, तो मार्केट डेफिनेटली इसको पनिश करेगा. एंड दैट इज द रीजन वी आर सीइंग एन एग्रेसिव सेलिंग बाय foreign institutional investor, and coupled with that, there are many opportunistic traders who will use this opportunity to go short on many large cap names where FNO is available, and hence we are seeing a pressure from across the board, whether it is a traders, whether it is investor, whether domestic investor or foreign institutional investor. Hence, these are the main 2-3 reasons due to which the market is under pressure. And moving on to then what happens next, right? Obviously, so we have already seen a very robust growth return delivery from Nifty and Sensex. So during the last 1 year, Nifty and Sensex is up by more than 27%, and from the bottom of COVID low, the markets are already up 3 times during the last 3-4 years. So after such a fantastic rally, it is a period of consolidation. Now, which are the various supports level in terms of Nifty, Bank Nifty, and key benchmark indices? I will leave it that to Gautam, wherein he will help us to decode various technical parameter, and based on that, which are the various levels till where the Nifty can or Bank Nifty can find a support or resistance. So yeah, that's all from my side. Rest all we will have keep it a Q&A interactive session. So over to you, Gautam. If you can walk us through technical levels, which will be very useful for our trader as well as investor.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sunny sir. I hope my voice is clearly audible. Yeah, so moving forward towards the levels for the market. तो अगर देखे चार्ट पैटर्न पे अगर देखे क्लियरली द इंडेक्स दैट इज निफ्टी इट हैज फॉर्म्ड अ हेड एंड शोल्डर पैटर्न. तो द हेड इफ यू सी इज द एब्सोल्यूट टॉप फॉर द इंडेक्स व्हिच इट हैड फॉर्म, एंड उधर से ऑलमोस्ट देयर हैज बीन अ बिट ऑफ करेक्शन व्हिच हैज बीन सीन. द थिंग इज द इंडेक्स इज ट्रेडिंग एब्सोल्युटली एट द शोल्डर लेवल. तो जो राइट हैंड साइड का शोल्डर जो बना है इंडेक्स पे, द इंडेक्स इज ट्रेडिंग एब्सोल्युटली एट दैट पर्टिकुलर लेवल. फ्राइडे के ट्रेडिंग सेशन में देयर वाज अ ब्रेकडाउन व्हिच वाज सीन below the shoulder, but quickly we recovered within the first hour of trade itself. Nifty witnessed a very smart recovery leading to a reversal. So अगर आप levels की बात करें निफ्टी के लिए, if you see if anyone is trading the index, then if you see 24,650, 24,690, ये level क्यों? Because previously also the low that the index formed, this previous swing low जो left hand side का shoulder है, उसका लो that is 24,690. So we just witnessed a brief dip, and then there was a 200 point correction almost below that levels, but the index recovered swiftly. So at the current juncture, when the index is trading closer towards 24,750, 24,800 levels, सबसे important level from a short term perspective will be the level which it had respected in Friday's trading session, that is 24,650. अगर 24,650 के नीचे इंडेक्स चला जाता है, that is the spot levels I'm mentioning in this particular chart, then we could witness 300 to 350 point correction further on the downside towards 24,300, 24,200 on the downside. So this is if you see from a short term trading perspective the support levels. अगर resistance की बात करें, then the psychological mark of 25,000, 25,100 would be the immediate resistance. There is derivative data also to back this particular resistance mark, and if you take the level of 25,000 and you add the option premium, if you see the option chain, there is significant call writing which is seen in 25,000 strike. So from a weekly perspective, that is this Thursday's expiry, there is a lot of resistance which is being seen closer towards 25,050, 25,100 levels. So even today, even though we started the day on the positive side, when the index started with a positive note, there was a bit of selling pressure which was witnessed at the higher levels. तो अगर लेवल चेंज होना है या ट्रेंड स्लाइटली रिवर्स होना है पॉजिटिव साइड पे, then the index has to move about 25,100 from a psychological perspective, because when the index moves above 25,100 levels, that time the fear of the option sellers who have sold the 25,000 call option will come into the picture. So from an absolute short-term perspective, 24,690, 650 on the downside is the support zone, and on the upside 25,100 is the resistance level. अगर RSI देखें निफ्टी का, it has definitely weakened in the last 10 to 15 trading sessions. The RSI is trading absolutely relatively flat, and it had dipped below the levels of 40 as well, indicating that from a short-term perspective, the momentum has definitely reduced for Nifty. Now coming to the update regarding Bank Nifty. So अगर आप बैंक निफ्टी की बात करें तो there is definitely better outperformance which is being seen from Bank Nifty at the current juncture. Friday के trading session में भी Bank Nifty clear outperformer था compared to Nifty. The index witnessed a trend line breakdown. अगर आप चार्ट देख सकते हैं on Thursday's trading session where the overall markets witnessed selling pressure, Bank Nifty too had come under pressure. But there was an extremely smart recovery which was seen in Friday's trading session, led by the likes of ICICI Bank and HDFC Axis. So all these counters supported the market, that is Bank Nifty. And even at the current juncture, agar aap from a sectorial perspective, quite a few sectors are underperforming. But the one few sectors that are relatively outperforming, that is Bank Nifty and the financial service sector stocks. So this is one sector which is relatively doing well. And today also we witnessed a continuation of the momentum. If you see, it may not have looked closed at the high point of the day, but there was definitely positive traction which was seen in few of the counters from the banking and the financial space. अगर आप RSI भी देखें momentum indicator बैंक निफ्टी का, it has definitely improved in terms of relatively compared to where Nifty is at the current juncture. Now coming to why bank Nifty is relatively underperforming compared to some of the other sectors. So this is the composition of Nifty. Nifty is a composition of various sectors, and the highest weightage, if you see, is financial services and banking. This is relatively doing still well, even though there has been so much selling pressure. Because of this highest contribution of this particular sector, the index is still have not witnessed a major breakdown, but we are definitely witnessing selling pressure in the auto space. निफ्टी ऑटो में हैवी सेलिंग प्रेशर देखा गया था लास्ट 4-5 ट्रेडिंग सेशन में. देन इफ यू सी ऑयल एंड गैस, रिलायंस हैज क्लियरली विटनेस्ड अ मेजर ब्रेकडाउन ऑन द चार्ट्स. तो ऑयल एंड गैस जो 11% का वेटेज है निफ्टी के अंदर, उसका मेजर कंट्रीब्यूटर रिलायंस इंडस्ट्रीज ही है. सो रिलायंस इंडस्ट्रीज इज डेफिनेटली विटनेसिंग सेलिंग प्रेशर, एंड एफएमसीजी काउंटर्स में भी सेलिंग प्रेशर देखने को मिल रहा है. आई विल शो यू द चार्ट ऑफ दीज 3 सेक्टर्स. आई विल जस्ट क्विकली रन थ्रू इट. बट दीज आर, other than the banking and financial, none of the major sectors are contributing on the upside. अब तक तो IT होल्ड कर रहा था, बट आज के ट्रेडिंग सेशन में IT स्टॉक्स में भी काफी सेलिंग प्रेशर देखने को मिल रहा है, एंड दिस इंडेक्स आल्सो विटनेस्ड स्लाइट सेलिंग प्रेशर ऑन द डाउनसाइड. The remaining sectors do not have major weightage to drive the index on the upside. So if you take healthcare या pharma, the weightage is not significant to drive Nifty on the upside, but the heavyweight counters like Reliance, ITC, एशियन पेंट्स, HUL, ये सारे काउंटर्स में सेलिंग देखने को मिल रहा है, स्पेशली बिकॉज देयर इज हेवी FII वेटेज इन दीज काउंटर्स. एंड लाइक सनी सर टोल्ड, FII का फिगर्स which for this particular month, do note that the month is not over. We are still at 21st of this particular month, but if the figures remain same also, if the figures remain absolutely same, still it will be the month where the FIIs have sold the highest ever in the cash segment. I'll just show you that figure once again. So we'll go to that, but I just wanted to show first Nifty Auto का ये चार्ट है. आप क्लियरली देख सकते हो इन ट्रेडिंग, दैट इज इन थर्सडेज ट्रेडिंग सेशन, वी विटनेस्ड अ मेजर ब्रेकडाउन बिलो द राइजिंग अपवर्ड चैनल, द ट्रेंड लाइन, and post that we witnessed heavy selling pressure. So that was the day when Bajaj Auto reacted to its result numbers, and the entire two-wheeler auto space came under intensive selling pressure. So a very simple trend line breakdown was witnessed in Thursday's trading session itself. So auto is one sector which is, even though last 2 days we have witnessed a marginal recovery, but from the all-time high for Nifty Auto, we have definitely witnessed a decent amount of correction. The other sector which has witnessed a breakdown on the charts is FMCG. तो आप देख सकते हो clearly the trend for FMCG for a very long period of time was on the upside, but then we witnessed a breakdown about 15 trading sessions back, 10 to 15 trading sessions back, and post that there has been a bit of sell-off in the FMCG counters. So FMCG, which is relatively considered as a defensive pack, and which tends to do good when the markets are underperforming, but this particular sector also has come under a bit of pressure in the last 10 trading sessions. And the major stock which has the among the highest weightage in the market, that is Reliance Industries. So Reliance Industries is a classic case of a false breakdown. So you can clearly see that Reliance Industries witnessed a breakout type pattern which was formed, and it was a breakout above the declining trend line. But the very next trading session itself, there was a huge selling which was seen, which clearly mitigated all the buying interest. And post that, there has almost been a 350 points correction in Reliance. So almost from post the point of the breakout, from there has been almost 350 points correction in Reliance Industries itself. And Reliance Industries holds almost 10 to 11% weightage within the Nifty index. So due to this heavy selling pressure which has been seen in these counters, that's why the market, that is Nifty per se, has witnessed a correction of almost 1,200 points on the downside. This is the data. The figure may not be clearly visible, but this is the FII sell figure for from the start of the month. You can clearly see from right from 1st of October all the way till the 18th of this particular month, every single trading session FIIs have sold in the cash market. They have sold significant amount compared to any. There has been no month ever in the history where FIs have sold so much in the cash segment. They have even surpassed the figures which was seen during the COVID phase, that is March 2020. Even during that phase, how much the FIs have sold, even that has been surpassed. But I just wanted to highlight that we are still at the 21st of this particular month, and the data could reverse. But as we stand today, this is the highest ever sell figures from FIs in a particular month. And now just a brief outlook regarding the derivative indicators and what derivative indicators are telling us at the current juncture. तो अगर आप ऑप्शन चेन या ऑप्शन डेटा को थोड़ा भी एनालाइज करें, इट इज क्लियरली इंडिकेटिंग दैट देयर इज अ बिट ऑफ सेलिंग प्रेशर इन द मार्केट. तो पहला इंडिकेटर जो है दैट इज पीसीआर, दैट इज नोन एज पुट कॉल रेशियो. तो ये पुट कॉल रेशियो जो है, यू हैव टू एनालाइज इट फ्रॉम अ सेलर्स पर्सपेक्टिव. मतलब कितने पुट ऑप्शन सेलर्स है in comparison to the call option sellers. So this figure, when it is below 1, it indicates that there is more call option sellers in the segment in the market compared to put option sellers. तो currently ये जो figure है, ये weekly expiry का data है. जो current figure है, that is at 0.62. So clearly indicating that there is significantly higher call option sellers in the system in comparison to put options. Just a quick look at the option chain data. तो जो कॉल राइटिंग जो हो रहा है वो 24,900 और 25,000 के स्ट्राइक में हो रहा है. एंड जो पुट ऑप्शन जो हो रहा है वीकली का, अगर आप एक्सपायरी का डेटा देखें, इट इज हैपनिंग इन 24,600 एंड 24,700 स्ट्राइक्स. तो नीचे के जो मेन सपोर्ट जोन है दैट इज 24,600 एंड ऑन द अपसाइड 25,000 वुड बी द रेजिस्टेंस फ्रॉम एन ऑप्शन चेन. एंड यू हैव टू प्लस और माइनस, यू हैव टू ऐड द प्रीमियम, so you get the clear support and resistance levels. The other main point is the FI long short ratio. तो clearly आप देख सकते हो FI का भी फिगर 33.57 है. तो उनके सारे positions are more aligned on the short side, especially in the futures segment. Otherwise, a high figure indicates that their positions are more towards the long side. But right from the start of the series, FI का जो positioning जो बना है futures में, it is on the short side. So there is no major trigger for the market which is coming. Even the result season, no major company is coming with positive triggers, and the constant selling by the FIs in the current month has led to the correction. Because if you see from a global perspective, US markets तो अपने all time high की तरफ ही trade हो रहा है. कल भी अगर आप देखो, means that is in Friday's trading session, the indices that is Nasdaq, Dow, S&P 500, they are just within touching distance of their lifetime highs, whereas we have about corrected 5 to 8% from our lifetime high levels. This is the option chain data. तो आप क्लियरली देख सकते हो जो ब्लू कलर का बार है वो कॉल ऑप्शन का राइटिंग है. तो कॉल ऑप्शन के राइटिंग में आप क्लियरली देख सकते हो 25,000 स्ट्राइक में सिग्निफिकेंट कॉल राइटिंग है. एंड जो पर्पल कलर का बार है वो पुट ऑप्शन का डेटा है. तो पुट ऑप्शन के तरफ अगर आप देखोगे 24,600 24,700 स्ट्राइक पे है. एंड मैक्स पेन जो बोलते हैं, अगर इंडेक्स इसी लेवल पे बंद दिया तो जिन्होंने ऑप्शन खरीदा है कॉल साइड पे और पुट साइड पे, तो कौन से स्ट्राइक पे अगर इंडेक्स ने बंद दिया तो मैक्सिमम लॉस हो सकता है, दैट इज 24,800, because the markets are currently trading at that particular level and that particular strike price has the maximum option premium. And अगर इंडेक्स उसी लेवल पे बंद देता है, then that is where the maximum pain will be felt by the option buyers. So it's why it's known as max pain. And currently 24,800 has the maximum pain which will be seen if the index closes at that particular level. That's it. So now I think we can start with the Q&A. So if you have any questions, please do ask in the chat section. We'll be happy to reply. Thank you. Thank you so much. Question is already answered by the data that we have already shared. Why the Indian market is negative? It is mainly to do with the FI sell figure, and no positive trigger is coming. So even though the result season is currently underway, there has not been a single major large cap company which has positively surprised on the upside. So that's why we are witnessing a bit of selling pressure in the market. I'll just take the next question.
Yeah, Gautam, so there is one question on Swan Energy. So yeah, So I don't know, Pandeyji, whether you have bought the Swan Energy or you are planning to buy. But again, it's the kind of turnaround story. So we have seen this company has acquired Reliance Naval and Defense, wherein the company hold 93% stake, and at the same time they are into multiple businesses, wherein they have established LNG port on Gujarat ocean front, real estate, and at the same time we have seen a significant recovery as far as financial metric is concerned. The company has already reported a healthy set of number during the FY24, where we have seen a 5,000 crore of top line and 586 crore of bottom line compared to loss of 61 crore in FY23. So I think it's a kind of turnaround story, and again into multiple sector. And we have already seen a run up also in the stock since the last 2 3 years. So if I see 3 year back, the stock was trading in the band of 100 125, and right now a post correction now it is available at 500 rupees. I think the main key trigger for the company from here on will be the any order under the naval and defense segment, and that can be the key trigger. So it's a kind of high risk, high return kind of bet. In case it's a small part of your portfolio, I would recommend you to continue to stay remain invested. Having said that, looking at the current volatility in the market, all the small cap and mid caps are also under pressure. So to that extent, there can be volatility and price correction, which may continue. We'll request Gautam to share the support level for Swan Energy.
Yeah, 1 second. So Swan Energy, if you see, the stock has witnessed a bit of correction in tandem with the sell-off which has been seen across the market. Currently, the stock is trading at 520 rupees, and it has corrected almost from 760 levels, which was its close to its all-time high. So उधर से almost एक 200 points का correction we have witnessed in the last 2 months, but it is trading closer towards its long-term support zone. सो 510 टू 490, तो ये मेजर सपोर्ट जोन रहेगा स्टॉक के लिए. अगर स्टॉक 490 लेवल्स भी तोड़ता है देन देयर कुड बी अ बिट ऑफ प्रेशर ऑन द डाउन साइड, बट दिस हैज टू डू with the type of correction which is being seen across the board in some of the large cap and mid cap counters. So Swan Energy also, the stock, so at the current juncture 490 would be the immediate support zone, and from a trend reversal perspective, once the stock moves above the levels of 560 570 on the upside, we could witness a short term reversal in the counter.
Yeah, thanks, Gautam. So moving on to next question from Santosh ji. What are the measures to find good ETF? These how to do screening of ETF shares. So Santosh ji, again, ETF is nothing but it is a replica of the underlying index or the commodity. Case in point, the gold ETF will be replicating the price movement of the gold in the commodity market. Similarly, Nifty 50 ETF will be a benchmark to Nifty 50 movement, and any up move or downtick in a Nifty 50 in terms of percentage will be reflected in the ETF movement. A minor difference may be there because of the adjustment and some charges, but 99% of the movement will be in line with the underlying indices. So I think there is no difference whether the ETF is managed by ABC mutual fund or XYZ mutual fund. Ultimately, they all will have an जो underlying जो basket होती है, whether it is Nifty 50, Nifty Next 50 और for that matter gold और silver, वो उसी का return वहाँ देखने मिलेगा. What is important here is that you need to choose underlying basket. आपको choose करना पड़ेगा आपको किस में इन्वेस्ट करना है. आपको निफ्टी 50 में करना है या आपको निफ्टी नेक्स्ट 50 में करना है, गोल्ड में करना है, सिल्वर में करना है, एंड अकॉर्डिंगली आप जा करके कोई भी म्यूचुअल फंड के ETF में इन्वेस्ट कर सकते हो. तो ओनली I mean, one of the important criteria which I would like to look at personally when I invest in ETF is the size of the corpus. तो जो ETF का corpus बड़ा होता है या जो AMC का म्यूचुअल फंड का कॉर्पस बड़ा होता है, वहाँ थोड़ी लिक्विडिटी ज़्यादा रहती है, क्योंकि ETF शेयर नॉर्मल शेयर की तरह ट्रेड होते हैं एक्सचेंज पर. तो जहाँ लिक्विडिटी ज़्यादा रहेगी वहाँ आपको आसानी से आपके शेयर बिक भी जाएंगे और आप खरीद भी सकते हो विदाउट एनी इम्पैक्ट कॉस्ट. आई होप आई हैव आंसर्ड योर क्वेश्चन. The next question is from Vinay ji. Tata Motors 100 shares at 400 rupees and Tata Power 200 shares at 247. Should I buy on deep at a current level for averaging? View on NTPC on deep purchasing. So Vinay ji, again, I will first share a fundamental view, then I will request Gautam to share supports and resistance for all the three names. So Tata Motor, again, you have bought 100 share at 400 rupees, I think, and Tata Power at 247. First of all, congratulations. So you are in a decent amount of profit in both the names. Coming to Tata Motors, as of now, what I feel in the short term, stock will remain range bound between 900 to 1100 because all the positives are in the price. And as of now, there is a concern that there is a slowdown in Europe. और हमने देखा है कि काफी सारी यूरोप की जो बड़ी कंपनीज हैं, Volkswagen and all those, they have continuously downgraded their growth guidance for the European market. And Tata Motors do have 25% of their exposure in the European market. तो स्ट्रीट थोड़ा सा केजी है कि टाटा मोटर्स के आगे के 3 से 6 महीने कैसे निकलेंगे. But having said that, I believe long-term outlook is still positive in Tata Motors, और स्पेशली जो पैसेंजर व्हीकल का डीमर्जर होगा उसके चलते एक वैल्यू अनलॉकिंग हम होते देखेंगे, तो काइंडली स्टे रिमेन इन्वेस्टेड. Tata Power, again, I continue to remain bullish on Tata Power from a long-term perspective, so stay remain invested. Coming to NTPC, yes, definitely you can add on deeps, and one of the key trigger is IPO of NTPC Green Energy, which is likely to be scheduled in the first fortnight of November month. So in case you are holding NTPC share, you will be eligible for shareholder quota of that IPO. So again, individually as an NTPC also looks good. So what I feel is that fair value of the business of NTPC, irrespective of whether this IPO comes or not, is close to 480 rupees. So if you have got an investment horizon of 6 to 12 months, the fair value will be close to 480 rupees. Yeah, Gautam, if you can help with technical levels on the three names.
Yeah. So first, let's just have a quickly, we'll look at Tata Motors. So since you have bought at really good prices, currently, if you see, the stock is trading at 903 levels. So I feel from a longer term perspective, this stock should do good. It had rallied all the way towards 1170 levels, and from there we have corrected about 300 points on the downside. But that had to come. The stock, if you see, had witnessed a one directional rally all the way from around 200, 100, 150 levels towards 1150 in the last 2.5, 3 years. So the correction which has come in comparison to how much the stock has run up is just a few percentage points. From an immediate level perspective, 960 would be the immediate major resistance to look out for on the upside. So anytime the stock moves above 960, 970 on the upside, we could see a revival of the uptrend. But till that time, the stock could go into a period of sideways consolidation. Like Sanisa mentioned, the next major trigger could be the demerger of the commercial vehicles and the retail segment. So that particular trigger could come, and at that time the stock could witness further trigger. But anytime the stock moves once again above 960, we could see positive traction. The other one is Tata Power. So Tata Power is doing relatively well in this market, also current market scenario. Even though we witnessed a bit of heavy sell-off, which is seen in the mid-cap space, Tata Power, even though the stock has witnessed a correction from 494 towards 450, the stock is still doing good, and it's trading closer towards just about a few percentage points away from its lifetime high. Anytime the stock moves, witnesses a move above 471, 475 levels, we believe that the stock could witness a fresh trigger on the upside, and buying interest could once again resume in this counter. But since your buying prices are quite deep away, I think you can definitely continue holding your stock. From a trigger perspective, above 475 would be the next trigger for the stock on the upside. And last stock is NTPC. So NTPC has been in a one directional uptrend all the way from October 23rd, wherein the stock was trading close to about 440, 450 levels. And from there, if you see the chart pattern of NTPC, it has been in a constant higher top, higher bottom chart structure. So from a positional perspective, immediate short term, if you see, it would be 410 would be the support zone. But we believe from a positional structural chart perspective, till the time the stock holds on to the levels of 385, so which is the previous major swing low. Till the time the stock is trading above 385, we expect the uptrend to continue. And like we sir mentioned, the NTPC green IPO is the major trigger for this particular stock. So there is a lot of shareholder buying interest which is being seen, so that people get the quota of existing shareholders in NTPC. So that's why even if you see the shareholding pattern of NTPC over the last few months, there has been a significant increase in that particular retail buying of NTPC as well as different categories. So in the medium term, even though the markets are witnessing a bit of correction, this stock is still trading close to its lifetime highs. So once again, if it moves above 440, we could expect a positive traction towards the levels of 480 on the upside. So next, there is a question regarding Vodafone. I'll just quickly reply to Vodafone as well. So Vodafone Idea has been under a bit of pressure. The stock witnessed an extremely sharp correction in trade on 19th of September, wherein the stock dipped all the way from 13 towards levels of 10. And from there, the stock is still trading on the downside. The thing is, there is a lot of competition for the particular stock, and there is no major investment which has come in for Vodafone. So from a trading perspective, you can consider it, but it's not at all, definitely not a portfolio stock, because it's really tough to tell whether the stock will survive in the long run or not. But from a trading perspective, also there is no positive trigger which is being seen. Your buying price is around 13. Currently, the stock is trading towards levels of 8.5. I would recommend to cut your losses as soon as in terms of levels. It's not looking like the stock is giving any major signal. It's a news based stock. Whenever there is any positive news, the stock does good. The company tells that we are going for I mean some in further investment, or some other company shows interest, then this company can do good. But on its own and based on the chart pattern, there is absolutely nothing which is being shown on the positive side at the current juncture. So
Would
the
like
next,
to add on Vodafone. Definitely, Vodafone is in a trouble, and it's a kind of turnaround story. So विशाल जी, मेरी आपसे ये रिक्वेस्ट रहेगी कि आप नए शेयर बाय मत कीजिए, इसमें एवरेजिंग की मत सोचना, अननेसेसरी कैपिटल आपका ब्लॉक हो जाएगा. So better to focus on other companies जहाँ better रिटर्न बनने की capability है. Yeah, moving on to the next question. So there are few questions on Waaree Energy IPO. So again on Waaree Energy, Harsha is asking what is the current status. So I believe he is asking what investor has to do in that. So we have released the IPO note with an neutral rating, because SBI caps is a merchant banker over there, and as per the regulation, we can't issue any rating on the IPO where our parent company SBI Caps is a merchant banker. But having said that, that's Waaree is one of the largest solar module manufacturer in India with the largest order book. The company has done phenomenally well during the last 3 to 4 years. And again, looking at the robust order book, the company is expected to do well over the next 3 to 4 years. I think the message is loud and clear that one of the best company in solar energy, and can be looked upon from a long-term investment perspective. Moving on to the next question, sir, India Energy Exchange view for 1 month and 2 years. So first, I will share a view for 2 years. Then I will request Gautam to share a short-term view. So coming to 2 years, again, IEX has been a victim of a lot of government regulation. So we keep on seeing government intervention in terms of how power need to be traded on one exchange and other exchange. However, IEX is a market leader. As of now, looking at the power deficit nature of the economy, I think power is something which will be needed from a long-term perspective, whether it is through PPA route or through spot route, wherein the role of India Energy Exchange is very prominent. So for buying any spot power, most of the guys will flock to the exchanges like India Energy Exchange. But having said that, there are many other exchanges which have got a minor market share, and government has to ensure that availability of power at a reasonable rate. So they keep on intervening between normal operations of power exchange like India Energy Exchange. So again, I am cautiously optimistic as far as India Energy Exchange is concerned. अगर आपका 2 साल का व्यू है तो डेफिनेटली होल्ड कीजिए, बट एट द सेम टाइम ये नहीं है कि आपने लेके भूल गए आप शेयर, ये वैसा स्टॉक नहीं है. आपको इसके रिलेटेड जो भी न्यूज़ है, डेवलपमेंट है, यू नीड टू कीप ट्रैकिंग एंड कीप चेकिंग विद द रिसर्च टीम की अब ये जो डेवलपमेंट हुई है इसके चलते कुछ बहुत ज़्यादा निगेटिव तो नहीं हो जाएगा. तो थोड़ा सा न्यूज़ ड्रिवन, गवर्नमेंट रेगुलेटरी ड्रिवन सेक्टर है, तो थोड़ा सा आपको रेगुलरली इसको ट्रैक करना होगा ना. अकॉर्डिंगली in a current scenario, it looks like India Energy Exchange will continue to do well in the next 2 years, but keep tracking all the development pertaining to this stock. और अगर आपको नहीं समझ आ रहा है तो डेफिनेटली आवर टीम इज देयर, यू कैन आस्क अस थ्रू योर रिलेशनशिप मैनेजर, एंड वी आर मोर देन हैप्पी टू असिस्ट यू on your position as far as India Energy Exchange is concerned. Yeah, Gautam, please on short term.
Yeah, so Indian Iron Exchange, if you see energy exchange, the short term to medium term trend definitely is on the negative side. जैसे कि सर ने कहा था, there was government news which came out on 24th of September, that is last month. And if you see on that particular day, there was a significant correction in the stock. The stock corrected from 240 levels all the way towards 209. Almost 30%, मतलब 30 पॉइंट का करेक्शन देखा गया था स्टॉक में. And post that also there has been a gradual decline on the downside. तो अगर आप ट्रेडिंग या शॉर्ट टर्म पर्सपेक्टिव से सोच रहे हो, देन इट इज बेटर टू अवॉइड इट, बिकॉज ऐसा लग रहा है कि चार्ट को देख के देयर कुड बी फर्दर सेल ऑफ इन दी स्टॉक. इट इज नॉट शोइंग एनी मेजर पॉजिटिव मोमेंटम. आरएसआई भी अभी करंटली अगर आप देखोगे डेली आरएसआई इट इज ट्रेडिंग एट 35 लेवल्स. तो कोई भी ऐसे पॉजिटिव मेजर ट्रिगर नहीं दिख रहा है फ्रॉम अ शॉर्ट टर्म टू ट्रेडिंग पर्सपेक्टिव. Only once the stock moves about 206 levels on the upside, we could see a further rally. But till the time, the stock is expected to trade with a relatively sideways to negative bias from a short-term perspective. Long-term, though, it could do good. Like Sunny sir said, there is a constant demand for this particular sector. But short-term, due to the negative sentiment which has been attached with this stock, as well as the chart pattern, it is showing signs of weakness at the current juncture.
Yeah, thanks, Gautam. Yes, let us move to the next question. I have 100 quantity of Tata Consumer. Please let me know long-term view. Again, Tata Consumer, one of the FMCG arm as far as Tata Group is concerned. Again, we continue to remain bullish on Tata Consumer from a long-term perspective. And again, the company is one of the fastest growing company in the FMCG space. But looking at the recently quarterly numbers, I think the stock was under pressure today. So numbers are slightly muted, and we have seen the same trend in other FMCG consumer staple companies, whether it is Dabur, whether it is the Nestle. So Nestle has appointed a very disappointed set of number, and the provisional update from Dabur were also very weak. I am sure the results will also be on a weaker side. So the entire consumer staple industry is going through some demand slowdown. But having said that, looking at the very good monsoon and water reservoir level, second half is something where street is expecting that consumer staple company will do well. And at the same time, the way government is spending money on various populist measures, they are putting money in the pockets of lower strata of society. They are the one who will start consuming all these consumer staple goods, and continue to stay remain invested in Tata Consumer. It's a portfolio stock. One can expect an annualized return of 12 to 15% over the period of next 3 to 5 years. The next question is from Harsha. Hi Harsha, thanks for asking this question. Waaree IPO not showing HNI type, please help. So Harsha, I think you are trying to apply for Waaree IPO in HNI category. So I will request you that please get in touch with our customer support desk, and they can be reached out at helpdesk@sbicapsec.com. I will put this in a comment also, so that it will be helpful for all of you. And at the same time, there is a direct landline number, IVR number, which you can get in touch with. The number is 022. That's the code number of Mumbai, and then contact number is 68545555. I will repeat 68545555. 68545555 4 times 5. So you can call on this number and get your doubt resolved, and I hope our customer team will definitely help you in applying through in HNI category as far as Waaree IPO is concerned. Moving on to the next question from Vinayak Talekar. What is your observation for mid-cap index? Whether it will go down further? Yeah, over to you, Gautam.
Yeah, so I have shared the screen of the index. So you can clearly see there has been a bit of selling pressure which is coming off late. So if you see till all the way till about Tuesday, that is 15th October, this particular index, that is mid cap and the small cap index, was relatively outperforming. We were trading close to levels of 59,630 levels. But post that, in the last 4 5 trading sessions, there has clearly been a bit of a sell off. Even in trade today, the index was down about 1.66%, and it has closed. The negative thing is the closing has come closer towards the low point of the day. Nifty, at least Nifty and Bank Nifty, even though there was selling pressure, they witnessed a recovery or a bounce back. But this particular index, if you see, its close is 57,677 today, and the low point of the day is 57,614. Clearly, there is selling pressure which is coming off late in the mid cap counters, and we believe that its previous swing low, it would be the crucial level, but I believe that even that could be taken out on the downside, and the index can gradually grind towards 56,400, 56,300 levels in the short to medium term. Trend level perspective, if you see, reversal in the trend will come only once today's high is taken out, and post that, today's high would be the levels of 58,970. A trend reversal from short term will be seen only once that level is taken out, today's high. And the other major resistance is the shoulder type pattern, similar to Nifty head and shoulder. So mid cap CP also is forming. It's not a clear picture like Nifty, but the right shoulder currently stands at 59,690 levels. So that would be the next major resistance perspective. So total momentum change would be seen once the index manages to sustain above 59,690 levels. So from a really simple answer, yes, we expect this particular index to relatively underperform in the short term, because if you see the RSI, it's currently trading at 38.7. If it clearly indicates that there is weakness which is being seen of the last few trading sessions. So the next question is regarding AB Capital. So AB Capital, Sunny sir, you would like to say anything, or should I give the technical levels?
Yeah, so coming to AB Capital, again, we continue to remain bullish on AB Capital with a price target of 2 rupees 280. But again, it's a long-term call. One has to keep in mind that AB Capital is a slow mover. It doesn't move very fast. It's a large cap company, more than 40,000 crore market cap. So yes, we continue to remain bullish on AB Capital as a business. Again, the price target is 280 with investment horizon of 12 to 18 months. Coming to short term, Gautam, please share the technical levels.
Yeah, so the stock has been facing a bit of resistance. If you see, closer towards 245 levels. On 2 or 3 occasions, the stock has formed a top over there. So from an immediate resistance perspective, first will be 230, and once the stock, if it manages to take out 230, then the stock could find a bit of resistance closer towards 245 levels. But there is nothing negative in the counter. It's just that the stock has gone into a period of sideways consolidation, in line with what the broad markets are witnessing. So if you have a position, you can definitely continue holding it from medium term to longer term perspective. But from a short term perspective, in line with what the markets are seeing, the pressure is definitely there. After a very long period of time, the markets are actually witnessing a bit of selling pressure in the mid cap and the small cap, in line with all entire market. So the stock could go into a period of consolidation and not show any relative significant outperformance. From outperformance, once it gives a closing about 245, which is its major resistance, then we could see positive traction once again coming in.
Yeah, so thanks Gautam. Moving on to the next question from Siddharji. Yeah, thanks Siddharji for attending our webinar. So, what is the advantage or disadvantage of equal weight method or the free float method? I see in HDFC Nifty 50 equal weight fund outperform over the HDFC Nifty 50 index fund. So, basically, let us understand, Siddharji, that what is the difference between equal weight and free float method. So as of now, all the Indian indices are constructed based on a free float method. So Nifty 50, which we are seeing currently, the levels which we are seeing of Nifty 50, that is purely based on a free float methodology, wherein higher the free float, the higher the weightage of the stock in a Nifty 50. So that's the way it is constructed. Coming to the Nifty 50 equal weight, so what happens कि 50 stock है सबको equal weight दिया गया है. A case in point, all the 50 stocks will have 2% weightage each in the index, so that become 100%. Whereas अगर आप फ्री फ्लोट देखोगे तो उसमें रिलायंस का वेटेज 10% होगा, एचडीएफसी का 10-12% होगा. So there is a lot of difference between the weightage of various stocks in a free float methodology and equal weight methodology. Now अभी एक सिनारियो लेते हैं, a scenario where Reliance and HDFC Bank are not performing and all other 48 stocks are moving up. इन दैट केस व्हाट यू विल सी कि जो फ्री फ्लोट मेथड वाला जो इंडेक्स है उसमें कुछ आउट परफॉर्मेंस दिखेगा नहीं, क्योंकि 20% ऑफ योर वेटेज इज नॉट मूविंग एट ऑल. वेयर इन केस ऑफ इक्वल वेट इंडेक्स यू विल सी दैट since there is a 2% weight allocated to Reliance and only 2% to HDFC, whereas the remaining 96% index is all the stocks are moving up, so that will outperform the free float index. So again, it's a different methodology through which this index is constructed. Now which how to identify or which index is better. Now again it's a call to be taken from time to time. अगर आपको लगता है कि टॉप के जो 4-5 स्टॉक है जो प्रीडोमिनेटली 30-40% वेट फॉर्म करते हैं नॉर्मल इंडेक्स में फ्री फ्लोट मेथड में, वो चलेंगे तो डेफिनेटली फ्री फ्लोट मेथड वाले जो ईटीएफ है दैट दे विल कंटिन्यू डू वेल. Whereas when a broader market is doing well, when all the Nifty 50 constituents are doing well, then equal weight index will continue to do well. So again, a different methodology of constructing an index, and every index will have a upper hand at some point of time. तो nobody can thumb the table and say कि अब यहाँ से निफ्टी 50 फ्री फ्लोट ज्यादा मूव होगा कि निफ्टी 50 इक्वल वेट मूव होगा. But if you want to diversify the risk, then equal weight is something wherein you put equal money in all the 50 stocks, whereas free float is something which is where there is a certain more weightage assigned to the top 10 or 15 stocks, which predominantly constitute more than 50% of the Nifty 50 weightage. So that's the difference between equal weight and free float methodology. I hope I have been able to answer your question, Siddharji. Yeah, moving on to the next question on Mufti Jeans. So, कब होगा 300 का भाव? So again, Mufti Jeans is under the company name as Credo, and post IPO we have seen one side correction in the stock. But again, a very strong brand as far as apparel is concerned, catering to youth segment. And post this correction, the valuations have also turned very attractive, trading at only just 20 price to earning multiple. Continue to remain invested. I think you need to have some patience over here. Maybe in a span of next 2 to 3 year, आपका 300 का भाव का जो aspiration है definitely आ जाएगा. Having said that, Gautam, would you like to share any levels over here in Mufti? It is under the name of Credo, CREDO.
One second. So if you see, the stock is currently trading at 183 levels. It has been into a gradual consolidation from the past few months, and trend reversal. If you see from a slightly medium term perspective, if the stock currently is trading at 180, so 220 एक immediate resistance है stock के लिए 220-225 levels. But taking into consideration that the garment section can do good in the long run, we believe that anytime the stock manages to sustain about 220, we could witness a reversal. At present, it's slightly flattish. There is no major trigger which is being seen from a short term perspective. But from a slightly medium term perspective, अगर stock 220 के ऊपर चला जाता है, we could see a pullback on the upside. towards 260, 270 from a short-term perspective.
Yeah, thanks, Gautam. So let us move to the next question. Trent and Wipro view. Again, fundamentally, both the companies are doing well. But again, Trent has seen a massive run up during the last 2 years and has delivered a multi-bagger return. In terms of valuation, definitely trading at an expensive valuation at the current juncture. But despite of that, we have not seen any iota of correction as far as Trent is concerned. So if you are holding Trent at from a very low levels, would recommend to stay remain invested. The company is doing very fabulous job in terms of value fashion under the brand of Zudio and Star Bazaar. So stay remain invested in Trent if the portfolio stock. Coming to Wipro, so Wipro, the results were in line with expectation, and we have seen the new management which has taken over in Wipro. They have delivered a fantastic change as far as the growth trajectory is concerned. And in terms of valuation, Wipro is one of the cheapest IT stocks. So Infosys, TCS all trade in the band of 25 to 30 price to earning multiple, whereas Wipro is the only company trading below 20 price to earning multiple. So I don't see any significant downtick as far as Wipro is concerned, unless and until the demand environment significantly deteriorate in the markets of US and Europe. As far as IT spend is concerned, then that will be negative for the entire large cap IT companies like Wipro, Infosys, TCS. But at a current juncture, I would recommend you to stay remain invested in Wipro. For Trend, I would recommend you to keep a trailing stop loss. So we'll request Gautam to share a trailing stop loss for Trend, because we have already seen a massive run up in Trend during the last 2 years.
See, Trent, like Sir said, the stock has witnessed a one-directional rally. The stock is almost up 10 times in the last few years. So, giving levels per se, if you are a long-term investor, it is this. But from a short-term trading perspective, if you see the immediate support zone, currently it's trading at 7,608. Definitely, the counter can be volatile. Many times, what may happen, we may see a 400, 500 point movement in the stock in a single trading day itself. So from a trading perspective, the immediate support comes closer towards 6,900 levels. So till the time the stock is trading above 6,900, 6,800 levels, we believe that the trajectory should continue on the upside, and we expect it to make fresh lifetime highs as well. The stock has been a phenomenal wealth creator, but from a trading perspective, it's better to trade it from an intraday perspective in a short-term manner. So the medium term support is closer towards 6,800, 6,900 levels.
Yeah, thanks, Gautam. Moving on to the next question. Suzlon shares, can we buy long term? That's the question from Santosh Kumar. Yeah, I think looking at the way government is supporting the entire renewable energy sector, so all the companies, whether it is from wind or solar, they are expected to do well. But having said that, we have also seen a one directional rally as far as Suzlon is concerned, from subpar 10 rupees to close to 70 rupees currently. And at a current market price, one has to keep in mind that although the price is 70, the market cap of Suzlon is 95,000 crore. So that's a kind of large cap company. It's almost in the top 150 company as far as market cap is concerned. So to that extent, it's slightly expensive at a current juncture. So what I would recommend, if you are planning to add Suzlon from a long-term perspective, better to wait for the correction and buy on deeps in a staggered manner. Maybe Gautam can assist you in terms of where you can start accumulating as far as technical levels are concerned. So if Gautam, if we can help them with 100-day, 200-day key support level where the stock post correction can find the support.
Yeah, sure. So if you see, the stock is currently trading at levels of 70. अगर 200-day moving average की बात करें, which is generally considered a very long term support for the stock. Before that, the immediate support would come closer towards levels of 67, जो stock का 100-day EMA है. अगर if the stock by chance breaks below that, and because of the overall negative sentiment in the market, then the stock could witness a pullback towards 57, 60 levels on the downside, which is the 200-day EMA of the stock. So from a longer term perspective, if you want to accumulate the stock in a gradual manner, then between 55 to 50, 55 to 60 levels would be a decent level to consider accumulating the counter. The all-time high of the stock is at 86. The counter is expected to be volatile by nature. This particular stock witnesses quite swift movements in either direction based on the news flows which come. But from a trading perspective, from a longer term, closer towards 57, 60 levels is a very good zone to consider accumulating.
Yeah, I think even fundamentally, I think 55 and 60 levels will offer a lot of favorable risk reward at that price. Yeah. Moving on to the next question from Arnav. Thanks, Arnav, for your question. Again, it's a very good question. What we need to do in the current market scenario? Should we book profit and take fresh positions on good picks of mid cap, small cap, creep, or any other suggestion like averaging existing good stock? So Arnav, again, that's the question which comes that's the question which everyone of us is grappling, that what to do in a current market scenario. Markets has obviously turned volatile during the last few weeks, and there are many moving parts globally. So we are heading towards the outcome of US election on 5th of November. China is trying to revive its economy, where we have seen multiple measures by China, whether it is the fiscal stimulus, monetary stimulus, and every week there is some announcement from China during the weekend, whether it is in terms of rate cuts, supporting real estate industry, pumping money in some particular sector, or buying back their own stock by their own government, opening of their capital market for foreign institutional investor. So I think many moving parts in the market, and that is leading to a lot of volatility, especially after a robust rally. Now, what to do? I think again, markets may continue to remain volatile for a month or two, maybe for 2 3 months. Nobody is know. So I would not like to hazard a guess what will happen in short term as far as market is concerned. But again, if you want to deploy a fresh capital in the market, what I would recommend, rather than deploying money at one go today, better to split your money into 3 4 parts and gradually deploy your money over the period of next 2 3 months. Let us see what happens. There is a expected that it is expected that even geopolitical tension may flare up in case Israel go in terms of attack on Iran, and we may again see spurt in a crude oil prices, right? So that again one of the important monitorable. So market का scenario, to be very honest, market has become indecisive. Market को पता नहीं है कि ऊपर जाना है कि नीचे, क्योंकि everyone is confused. There are so many signals that are emanating from many parts of world. तो इन द सच सिनारियो सबसे पहले क्या नहीं करना है वो इम्पोर्टेंट है. तो बेटर नॉट टू टेक अ लिवरेज बेट. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल बहुत ज्यादा एडवेंचरस बेट ना ले, बड़ी बड़ी पोजीशन ना बनाए मार्केट में लिवरेज लेकर के. तो बेटर टू स्टिक टू योर ओन कैपिटल, एंड अगेन विद इन योर ओन कैपिटल यू कैन स्प्लिट योर मनी एंड डिप्लॉय अक्रॉस दी various sector. Keep a well diversified portfolio, and one has to keep in mind that looking at a construct of the market, आई थिंक रिस्क रिवॉर्ड थोड़ा सा जो बेटर मिड कैप कंपनीज है, बड़ी वाली या बड़ी लार्ज कैप कंपनीज है, वहां पर फोकस कीजिए रादर देन गोइंग फॉर एसएमई एंड स्मॉल कैप. क्योंकि अगर यहाँ से करेक्शन अगर फर्दर डीपन होता है, and if we see further 1000 or 200 2000 point correction nifty, then all the micro cap companies, small cap companies will have to bear a significant brunt, क्योंकि लिवरेज पर काफी सारी पोजीशन टिकी हुई है. और अगर वहां से फोर्सफुल स्क्वायर ऑफ अगर हम ब्रोकर की ओर से आते हुए देखेंगे तो काफी सारी मिड कैप स्मॉल कैप स्टॉक में 30-40% का करेक्शन भी हो सकता है. नाउ विच आर द स्टॉक टू बाय. सॉरी. तो वी हैव टुडे रिलीज आवर दिवाली पिक. हमने 12 स्टॉक वहां रिकमेंड किए हैं. So I would request you to go through that Diwali pick report, and we will conduct a separate webinar for that in terms of we will walk you through each and every slide what we have given in that. Right now that Diwali pick report is available on SBI Securities website, so you can go through that and all and have can invest in all those 12 names. Keep your investment staggered. Again, warning: don't deploy your capital at once. The next question is from Vivek ji. Waaree Renewable Technology long-term vision. bought at 2300, is it good to stay invested or buy more or exit or invest in other? Again, you are stuck at a higher levels as far as Waaree is concerned. So we have already seen a very deep correction in Waaree post magnificent return which the company has generated. So what I would recommend, even at the current market price, the stock is trading at a very expensive valuation. So would not recommend you to average out at a current level. Better to stay remain invested. And I'm expecting that post closer to the listing of its parent company वारी जिसका IPO भी चल रहा है, थोड़ा सा एक buying interest वारी renewable में भी आएगा, and that is the time where you can exit close to your buying price at 2300 levels. Gautam, would you like to suggest some support level or any stop loss which can lead to a structural damage to the chart structure?
So Waaree Renewable, if you see, the stock has gone into a consolidation mode uh, from the past few trading sessions. The stock is currently trading closer towards levels of 1698. This is close the split definitely. And the main support zone, if you see the stock, it is the 200-day EMA, which has previously also the stock had come towards this level and tested and witnessed a bounce. So till the time, from a short term trading perspective, if the stock is trading above the levels of 1520, the position continues to remain on the long side. But definitely the stock has witnessed a bit of profit booking from where the stock had hit, and post that it has gone into a mode of sideways consolidation. So trend reversal perspective, it will be seen once the stock witnesses positive traction above the levels of 1960 levels on the upside.
Gautam, just I think there is some confusion at our end. I think Mr. Vivek is talking about Waaree Renewables Technology. So there is one more company by that name, and I was just going through that financials. I think again Waaree Technologies Limited. That's a micro cap company, 900 crore market cap, and that company is a loss making company. They are into energy storage solution, and hardly their turnover is 28 crore, 7 crore loss, and 900 crore market cap. I would not like to invest my money in such company, and I would recommend you to exit from Waaree Technologies Limited. Again, let me clarify, Waaree Technologies is trading at 848 rupees, and this is the company which I am talking about. Again, it's a loss making company, and I would not recommend you to invest fresh money in Waaree Technologies, and better to exit on any rise in this company. So, Gautam, if you can share some technical levels also for Waaree Technologies.
Yes, sir. So Waaree Renewable Technologies is at it's currently trading closer towards 1654, sir, I believe.
Yeah, so Waaree Technologies Limited, it's a SME stock, Gautam. It's not an on a main board. If you want the BSC code, it's 539337.
One second, sir. I'll just check it once.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we will move on to next question. You can check chart. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gautam. So once you are done with Waaree, kindly share technical levels for sale and decal also.
Yeah, I'll just take that particular this.
Yeah.
So sale will take first. So sale, if you see, in line with the a bit of sell-off which we are seeing in the metal counters due to the rise in the dollar index. So sale also, after hitting a swing high, its recent all-time high was the levels closer towards 175 levels on the upside, and from there the stock has witnessed a correction. Currently, it is trading close to its 126 levels and trading below its short-term and medium-term averages. So the 200-day average is at 133 levels, and currently the counter is trading at 126. So from a short term perspective, there is a bit, definitely a bit of selling pressure, and the stock can correct towards levels of 115, 110 on the downside if the selling pressure intensifies. there is a good chance that there could be a breakdown below the levels of 124, which is the current support zone. And if 124 is broken, then the stock can come towards levels of 116 to 114 on the downside. So from an immediate short-term perspective, the trend for sale is definitely on the downside, and a trend reversal on the upside will be seen only once the stock manages to sustain above 141, 143 levels, which is the resistance zone for the counter. So the other stock, once again, so I'll just check it. The other stock is Deco.
Decal.
So Decal, if you see it's relatively trading in a sideways zone at current juncture. Today there was a bit of selling pressure which was seen. The stock corrected nearly 5.77%, down 6% in trade today. But overall, the trajectory of the stock looks relatively okay. Anytime the stock manages to take out its previous recent swing high, that is the levels of 204, we believe that the trajectory could continue on the upside. So we'll have to wait out and see if the stock manages to take out 204. If the stock does it, then we could see further traction on the upside.
Yeah, I think Gautam, we have already crossed 7 minutes past 5 p.m. So what we will do, we will take last few more questions and then we will wind up the session. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So next question is from again Arnav. Sir, Bajaj Finance and NHPC are at good levels to accumulate. Yeah, fundamentally, I think again Bajaj Finance continue to do well, but again trading at an expensive valuation. And the pace of growth in Bajaj Finance has reduced because we have to understand that the company has become significantly big in terms of loan size, the loan book size, and that is the reason we are seeing the pace of growth has reduced for Bajaj Finance. But again, it's a portfolio stock, can be looked upon from a long-term perspective. Coming to NHPC again has corrected significantly, and I think it is under the consolidation mode. So the current market price is 82 rupees. So we have seen a deep correction across the PSU basket, and again I feel NHPC is part of that only. So again, buy on deep is something which I would recommend you with a fair value of close to 100 and 110 rupees for NHPC. Gautam, if you can share levels for both these counter, Bajaj Finance and NHPC.
So Bajaj Finance, if you see, the stock has come under a bit of sell-off in the last few trading sessions. The stock had witnessed a decent rally when the subsidiary company, that is Bajaj Housing, witnessed an IPO. Post that, if you see, the company has definitely witnessed a correction on the downside from 7,824. Currently, the stock is trading closer towards 6,780 levels. But there is a support which is seen in the range of the next 200 points on the downside. So the stock can go into a period of relative sideways consolidation, come closer towards 6,400, 6,300 on the downside, which would be close to its long-term support zones. And an immediate trend reversal would be seen only once the stock manages to sustain above 7,260, which the stock witnessed a breakdown levels from. So that would be the major resistance on the upside, that is 7,260 levels. And from a slightly medium term perspective, the stock could witness a correction towards 6,500, 6,400 on the downside. And the next stock is, so I'll just stay recording NHPC. So NHPC, if you see, the stock has witnessed a clean breakdown on the charts. The stock, which it had hit its high of 118, from there the stock has come towards 82 levels on the downside. So we are in a bit of pain point at the current juncture, and we could see a further correction towards the levels of 74, 76 on the downside. There is no immediate signs of any major reversal. The reversal point would be that above the levels of 1991. The 200 EMA is currently placed at 89 levels, and from there also the stock has witnessed a fresh breakdown on the downside. Previously, it tried to take support over there, but the intensity of the sell-off in the last 3-4 trading sessions has led to the correction on the downside. So even if there is a pullback towards those levels, you can consider reducing your position from a slight medium-term perspective.
Yeah, thanks, Gautam. Moving on to next question, NHPC review long term. Krishna ji, so we have already discussed in the earlier question. I feel the fair value of NHPC over the period of next 12 to 18 months is 100 to 110 rupees. That's a fair value. So that's the view for next 1.5 year, 2 year. And this year monsoon has been pretty well. So I am expecting that since NHPC is a more of an hydropower company, the September as well as December quarter results should be good. So hold on to the stock from a long-term perspective and target of 100 to 110 rupees. Moving on to the next stock, Animesh is asking on PSP project. So basically, PSP project. What is happening? If you remember, PSP project was under trouble because of their diamond bores, which has been constructed by PSP in Surat, and there was some problem with the Gujarat government on that, and due to that, the stock was under pressure. But again, from a long-term perspective, we continue to remain bullish on PSP project. So kindly stay remain invested in case you have already deployed the capital in PSP project. Yeah, Gautam, if you can help with the technical support and resistance on PSP.
So PSP projects, if you see from the last few months, the stock is in a sideways zone. The stock, if you see the larger term trend, it's definitely on the selling side. The counter is trading in a low top, low bottom chart structure. The trend reversal would first resistance would be the 200 EMA levels, which is 680, 690 levels on the upside. Today also the stock was down 2.63%, and it's not showing any major signs of a reversal at present. But like sir said, from a longer term perspective, the stock could do good. So from a trend reversal perspective, absolute trend reversal, 710 on the upside would be the point where we could clearly say that the stock has witnessed a breakout from its sideways consolidation, and we could see an upsurge towards 760, 780. But till that time, the stock could continue to be witnessing a sideways consolidation from a medium term perspective.
Yeah, thanks, Gautam. Yeah. So what we will try now, what we will do, we will try to bunch up all the queries in next one question. So I can see a lot of queries on Jio Finance. Then there are few queries on oil marketing companies, HPBP, IOC. So and one is on BEL. So let us club all these questions together now. Moving on to the Jio Finance again. Jio Finance is a long-term story. It is for somebody who is willing to hold on to the stock and not look at us, not and have a patience not to look at a screen on a daily basis for next 1.5 2 year. If you have got that patience, then only Jio Finance is the stock for you. I want us to keep in mind that it's backed by Reliance, and again, Reliance historically we have seen they have tried to be number one or number two in the whichever field they have entered. Again, it's the company in making. So recently they have got an license from regulator to start mutual fund operations along with BlackRock. Lending business is something where they have already entered. It will take some time before this company picks up significantly in terms of profit growth and all those things. So in case you got an horizon of at least minimum 3 years, then Jio Finance is a stock for you. And if you are a trader with a lesser amount of capital, then Jio Finance will continue to trade in a range bound fashion for next a few months till the time any significant development is seen from the company side. Moving on to the oil marketing companies. So again, HPBP, IOC. So one has to keep in mind that in terms of valuation, all the three companies are trading at a dirt cheap valuation, very reasonable valuation. But looking at the Reliance result, what I feel is that all these oil marketing companies have got a two vertical. One is the refinery business, very similar to the Reliance, and another is an retail fuel distribution or retailing business. So retail fuel distribution or retailing business is something which can generate extraordinary profit this time, because we have seen a correction in the crude oil prices, and at the same time petrol and diesel prices are there where it were a few months ago. So that division will report a very good set of number. But refinery segment, so we have seen a very bad set of number from MRPL, GRM less than zero point 0.5. Reliance has reported very bad set of number on refining business side. So I'm expecting the same structure to get reported in HPBP and IOC results during the quarter two numbers. So this quarter, post this quarter number, I believe that if somebody is a long-term investor, then he can consider all these three stock, HPBP and IOC, from a long-term perspective. But again, the right time to enter in the stock will be post declaration of September quarter numbers. So Gautam, if you can share resistance and support level for HPBP and IOC all three together.
Yeah. So if you see HPCL it's trading relatively well. It's trading closer towards its recent highs. 557 was its recent high, and currently the stock is trading at. 457 was its recent high. Currently the stock is trading at 415 levels. The longer term or the medium term trajectory continues to remain positive. If you see, very few stocks from this particular space are trading above its short term averages. This particular counter is one of them. Anytime the stock witnesses a breakout above 440, 443 levels, we believe that the stock can go on to test fresh lifetime highs as well on the upside. So if you are a short term trader, fresh positions consider once the stock gives a breakout above 443. If you already have a position, continue holding it. Absolute short term support comes closer towards 386, which is the 100-day EMA for the stock. That would be your immediate support zone. And on the breakout side, 443. The next stock is IOC. So IOC is relatively underperforming if you see, but it's not a major breakdown also. It's just that the stock has gone into a sideways consolidation, and currently it is trading absolutely at its 200 EMA level, which is the level of 159. Today was a day where it has almost tested the 100 EMA level. There could be a bit of consolidation closer to this level. 5-10 points below that, there could be a dip indicating of a breakdown or so, but we'll have to confirm and see whether the stock witnesses a breakdown below its 200 EMA. But till that time, it could witness go into a sideways consolidation, and trend reversal on the upside from an absolute short-term perspective will be seen once the stock moves above 174, 176 levels on the upside. The last counter is BPCL. So BPCL currently is similar towards how HPCL is trading. The stock, after hitting a high of 376, is currently trading at 330 levels. The stock is in a sideways consolidation from the past few sessions, in line with what we are seeing with the oil marketing companies. And from a resistance perspective, if you see, 355, 360 would be the resistance level. And if the stock manages to take that level out, then we could see further positive traction on the upside. So 360, which was its previous swing high, if you can see the chart as well, 360 level would be the resistance, and if that is taken out, we believe the stock could move towards fresh highs in the near term. On the downside, the 200 EMA would be the next major trigger post the 100 EMA. So the 100 EMA, currently the stock is trading at that level itself, that is 330, and below that on the downside, 305 is the major support zone.
Yeah, Gautam, if you can take one more technical question on BEL, Bharat Electronic. Fundamentally, I think the fair value of the business is close to 340, 350 rupees is previous high. That is the fair value if you got an investment horizon of 12 to 18 months. Technically, Gautam, last question, we will take this on BEL and then we will wrap up. Yeah.
So Bharat Electronics, if you see the stock post hitting a high of 340, the stock has witnessed a pullback on the downside and currently trading at 282 levels. This is in line with the correction that we are seeing across the sector in the PSU space. But BEL, Bharat Electronics, is definitely a counter for the longer term. from a reversal perspective, the previous swing high, so currently it is at 282. The previous swing high is 295 levels. So according to the Dow theory, that is the higher top, higher bottom, trend reversal on the upside will be seen once the stock manages to sustain about 296 levels. And once that is taken out, the next target on the upside would be closer towards 315, 320. This is from short-term trading perspective. And on the downside, the immediate support zone for the stock is closer towards 260. So till the time the stock is trading about 260, we could see a sideways consolidation. And on the upside, once 296 is taken out, fresh momentum could be seen on the upside.
Yeah, thanks, Gautam, and that's all for the day. Thank you, everyone, for attending this webinar, and look forward to your attendance and contribution to all our future webinar. And in case we would have missed certain questions on some stock, please feel free to reach out to us through your relationship manager, and we are more than happy to assist you on your any queries, whether it is on short term, medium term, or long term perspective. Thank you, everyone, and yeah, have a good day ahead. Yeah, thanks, Gautam. Yeah, thanks, Tejpreet, for organizing this webinar.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you to all the participants who have joined in today. Thank you so much.